And we're on episode 4.
Hello, Joel. How are you?
Hello, Valentina from New York on Nona duty.
Oh, so cute. He's adorable.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. Welcome back to She. So, over the past few episodes, we've talked about visibility, anxious attachment, and avoidant attachment. And
Yes,
today we're talking about what so many people are actually searching for underneath all of it: secure attachment.
right.
Not perfection, not never been triggered, and we'll talk more about this, and not becoming emotionless. It's just feeling safe enough to stay connected to yourself while experiences love, intimacy, conflict, vulnerability, and connection. Because secure attachment is not just about relationships, it really changes the way we move through life, the way we communicate, the way we trust, we receive, we handle closeness, the way we stop abandoning ourselves just to keep connection. And I think one
Yeah,
of the biggest misconceptions is that secure people don't feel fear. One more time, we'll come back on this. They do, absolutely, but they don't let fear run the relationship and run their life. That's the difference. So today we're diving into what secure attachment actually looks like in practice, and
yes,
why so many people unconsciously operate from survival patterns in love, how the nervous system shapes attachment more than most people realize. We always say it's two nervous systems dating each other. Just this is so true. And what begins to shift when someone starts feeling emotionally safe inside themselves, because
right.
yeah, like healing attachment is just we're not becoming somebody else. Absolutely, it's just like we finally feel safe to be fully ourselves. So
Yeah. And
yeah.
so that's why I said this is going to take 2 episodes, right? Because we were discussing it, because I'm learning even, I think it comes situational, because even going through my coaching or your coaching, the goal is to wind up in that secure place. The secure place, not only necessarily in a relationship, but with oneself. So some people think, that you're going to always have this feeling of security. And even me going through my own situations, even though I've reached a place of security with myself and learning not to self abandon, to understand how I feel and what makes me feel secure. You still come up against, and I'm learning this always still as being single and having people come into my life, clients coming into your life. And as we've discussed several times about this, that as you understand your attachment style, which we've gone through in length, I think the secure part of it is the most important, because and I just had a situation myself. I was saying meeting somebody or someone coming in your life that you're interested in. And maybe they don't meet you where
Mhm.
you are.
Yeah.
They're meeting you where you used to be.
Yeah.
They're meeting you to the capability of the healing that they've done on themselves. So, what happens in this situation? Yes, you have 2 options. You have the option to say, oh my God, I'm getting triggered, and pull back because this person's not coming forth in communication, in showing up, in consistency. What's that going to do? Well, and it's going to be every situation that comes into you. How are you going to choose to deal with it? You could choose to do the way you used to, your wound, your nervous system, of not saying or speaking your truth, or feeling like, well, it's somewhat soon in the situation of the relationship. Do I have a right to speak up? And the truth is, when you realize your security of who you are, you're not going to abandon yourself. At that moment is the time that you're going to see it. And not until then. We could say we've done the inner work, we could say that we've done the healing. That's great. That's words, right? But it's the situation that comes up. How do you react when the situation comes up? And I have to say, in this particular area, I'm extremely proud. I just got a gold star, because instead of meeting the person where they were, I stayed firm, sovereign, in where I am and understand that even though you could lose the connection, I'm not going to lose myself. So in this situation, I spoke truth. I spoke how I felt. I spoke what my needs are. And then the person can rise to where you're at, or sometimes if they haven't done the inner work, guess what happens? I become the mirror, right? And that's what my whole program's about, is we are going to wind up, we are our own sacred mirror. So when these situations come up, and you're going to speak about even in business as well,
Absolutely,
it
yeah.
still can come up as, is the person going to abandon me if I speak my truth? The fear of that comes up, and then you have to get to the place and check your soul. It's a soul check. Where am I in this? Is this a soul check? Am I going to abandon myself, or am I going to stand firm? And so that's what I'm saying is why it's going to take more to understand the secure attachment than it is understanding your avoidant or your fearful or your anxious
Agree.
attachment. Don't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely, totally. Because one more time, we talk here about relationships, but the most important one is the one with ourselves. So if we
Correct.
don't understand that inside, we can't, because it's always a reflection. And so definitely the in the process, not just about the soul that you mentioned, it's literally the recalibration of the nervous system, and we can't walk with a calm nervous system all the time, you guys.
No, absolutely
It's
not.
not possible. Like all the when they think, oh well, you're so spiritual, so you have to be positive all the time. One more time, it's not possible, because we're still living, and we can be souls but living a human experience. So you have the
As we are.
duality of I'm happy, and then the day after I'm freaking angry and upset. But how you deal with it, that's the difference,
Right.
making the choice. So the nervous system, it's not about being calm all the time. It is about observing, and of course with different tools and modalities, recalibrating it. And this is how you, and the more you do it, the better. It's a practice, like you go to the gym.
Yeah.
Totally, that's the and this is how you embody the version of yourself who
True.
doesn't abound. Exactly, yeah.
And I said to myself too, what would I put myself in my client's chair? Because yes, I'm still human. I'm still have emotions. I said, what would I tell my clients? And what I would tell my clients is this: check yourself. How are you feeling? Is this feeling safe, or is this feeling anxiety? How is your body feeling? Are you finding that you're overthinking the text, or you're overthinking the communication? If that's the case, you at that moment have to say, how is this sitting with me? Am I going to go backwards into those old identities, or you shifted into this new identity? See, that's the key to it. People think that when you go through my program, your program, it is in 8 weeks not solving life relationships. What's
Mhm.
happening is you're getting the tools. It's a matter of then, are you going to, when you go through the secure blueprint, are you going to use those tools? Because if you do, like I just used my own tools.
Exactly, me too, all the
You
time.
did too. I used my own tools with, okay, here's where you used to be. Here's where you are now. What decision, what road are you taking?
Yeah,
Well, I passed the secure blueprint. I've been through it and I created it. So of course I'm going to go the secure path. Would that end up in result of a losing of connection? Not if it's the right connection, because what it does to other people, I believe, is it triggers something in them. We are mirrors for each other no matter what happens. It triggers something in them, and they're either going to turn around and rise, or they're going to recluse backwards. But what happens is we're not always going to meet people on the same spiritual journey, same healing level that we're at, because otherwise, how would we have soul checks? What we are going to do is decide not to go down to that vibration and hold our own. And then the business opportunity is going to rise, or we're going to choose to walk away.
yeah, absolutely.
Right. And you experienced that recently, not in, say, maybe relationship, but even opportunities in business.
Of course, because one like it's as I said, the main one is with ourselves, but it's not just relationship like with a significant other. It's like relationships in general, friendships, like business relationships. So the check-in with the body is essential because I totally see myself because I try to observe the situation from outside, because when it's all about meaning and perspective in life. So if you approach it through a different lens and different set of eyes, it changes completely. So I feel, because we're energy, and the energy and the emotions are stuck in the body, in the nervous system, if you really pay attention, if you are connected to your body and you are really self-aware, you can feel the tightness, the tingling, and any sensation in the body. So it happened in like last week, something it happened to me that like I felt this, I got a text and I felt this tightness in my chest. So like the anxiety was coming out, and then the mind, because of course it's I always say the worst place to be, like started repeating all the thoughts and the beliefs, because they're just thoughts that you repeat over and over again.
Right,
And that's the choice. I have my tools to regulate the nervous system. I'm a different person. So, what do? I go back into the spiraling, and into the anxiety grows more and more, and the thoughts and the story, the old story you tell yourself, is, like trapping you. Or, okay, I understand. I'm not anxious. I am experiencing anxiety this moment. So
right,
different self language. Not I am anxious. So that's my
correct.
identity. And then I observe it. Totally, I feel you, I hear you, because you weren't used to. That's totally fine. We're safe. We're changing, recalibrating. So, me, for example, I started breathing, exhaling longer, signaling the parasympathetic nervous system. We're totally fine. That's the old story, that because you're 42, you kept repeating yourself for 40 years. So, it's totally normal that it's running your brain, right?
I
Okay.
did 56, 57. You're like,
So,
come on, speed this shit up, these lessons.
after that, it totally changed because I felt so calm and spaciousness in my chest and heart. The mind started talking. And not just that, if I read the text again, and it was actually positive. So it is crazy how everything changes with the right mindset, the right
Right.
nervous system recalibration, and the right tools. And this happens
Yeah.
all the time.
Too, like I had a client and I can actually identify with this. When they asked me, well, at what point is it too soon? It's not ever too soon. If you don't state your boundaries and your clear intentions from the beginning and you're waiting, well, I'm just getting to know the person, great. Save yourself a lot of bullshit and say it right up front. Give it, I don't know, maybe a week, 2 weeks, see how things are progressing. It's not like you're looking to run into this in-depth relationship, but you have to have boundaries with yourself of what you expect as far as consistency, as far as how is this making you feel. You don't have to necessarily verbalize everything that you're talking about or feeling, because each person you meet are on different levels of their soul's evolution in their journey. So they may meet you in some ways and not others, but that's why the secure attachment, people think it's in relationship. It's not, it's within yourself. Because when you find that secureness in you, the boundaries is not about somebody else. The boundaries is you against you. And when you have that, then you're going to be like, as much as I'm interested in this situation, I could see potential, but what's it's showing me right now, I don't go by potential anymore. If someone's showing me things, I take it for what it is now. I'm not the potential police
Not
anymore.
about
I'm like
potential.
the
No,
reality. Like,
exactly.
I'm reality. And
Reality.
I understand that people open up slower and we don't know what people's wounds are carrying. So the only thing you can do is be true to yourself
Yeah.
and totally authentic. That doesn't mean the other person's going to receive it positively. They may not. But then basically you dodged a bullet, right? You dodged a bullet or another painful situation. And you learn again. It's another part of growth. So I really know that the secure part of all this is so much more important than finding out what attachment style you have, because knowing that is great because you understand how your nervous system reacts to it. Do I fight or flee, or am I anxious, or do I become, avoidant? But the secure part truly is the thing that we need to focus on even more so.
Yeah. And you said it right, like because people think, which is totally normal, that you have to be feel safe and secure with your partner or in a relationship in general, but it comes from you. It comes from
Yes,
within. You cannot look for certainty, security, safety outside because you're giving your power away. How can another person that is not you give you what you need to give yourself? It's
right,
like because if you come into a relationship as a whole, like imagine that like it explodes exponentially. But if you come as a half, this is one more time. I told like I probably the other day. I said it already. This is what we've been told and sold that oh, two halves meet and then they become whole.
no,
Yes, in a sense, if we want to be
right, but
romantic,
not
but
all.
it's not
I'm
like
just speaking.
not that exactly. You have to be whole, no matter like by yourself.
Right, because if that person don't meet you where you're at, right, what happens? Then what happens? Now you have a dysregulated nervous system again. But when you're secure, you're going to get over it. You're going to rebound much quicker. You're going to be like, I own what I own because I know who I am, and the other person's responsible for the rest. And it's so important because the more I'm in this, the more I've grown, the more I'm coaching people, the more I'm like educating myself to be a better coach for my clients. It's so important and it's so needed because people want love and intimacy, but everybody's like the walking wounded. You
Yes.
know what I mean? It's like they're walking the walking wounded, and it's like, okay, are we going to live in our wounds, in our victimhood, or are we going to step into who we truly are?
Yeah.
Because here's where I'm at, and I've had my heart broken several times. Some self-inflicted,
Mhm.
some definitely self-inflicted, like, it's danger and you go do it anyway.
Of course,
Been down there
gotta
several
go there.
times. And other times, no, where what you gave, and you're just not a good fit. But I'm still at a point so secure in who I am that I'm vulnerable enough to know that I'm going to risk it because the reward of love, the reward of success, the reward of a great friendship is worth it. All you can do is know that you are only capable for your perception of. Everybody has their own perception of
Yeah,
things. No two people will ever see the same things. Me and you can look at the same flower and see something totally different.
totally different.
And
Totally.
when you understand that, that's actually beautiful and creative.
Mhm.
But this subject is definitely something that we're going to keep diving into because it's really important. And it's not all serious. I mean, some of the shit's funny. I mean, some of the stuff you look back now and I think, oh my God,
Can be
I can't
serious.
believe I tolerated that. Or I can't believe I didn't speak up. Or I can't believe that I overgave. And I look back now and I'm like, you know what? It was all part of my karmic
All part of the journey.
path of why I'm here to learn these lessons, to also for us to then turn around and use these
I
gifts to help other people.
I all like honestly, I used to think, why did I stay? Why did I meet? Why did I? I'm like, you know what? No, it's like always a blessing, even when you get
Always.
hurt, because if you look it from outside and you truly understand the lesson, it becomes wisdom without the
Right.
attachment and the pain, like so absolutely. And I want to also say that communication is key in a relationship, regardless of the relationship. Communication is so important because as you said, like you speak up your truth respectfully, right? And then the other person I mean, you can assume, okay, well, they're not gonna meet me. Maybe they will rise, or maybe not. One more time, it's their journey, but communication is so important, and so many, they're just
Yes.
so afraid of speaking up, of confronting, of just like having a conversation.
And that's like from the beginning. People think, oh, it's too early to communicate. No, it's not. It's really truly not, because what you don't communicate now in the beginning, you're going to try to communicate later. And then it's like, well, why did all this time go by and you didn't speak up? And I think once you do get to a place of really understanding who you are, what you've been through, what you have to bring, what you have to offer, from not an ego, from a soul level, from a heart level, and you bring that forth, you're going to speak your truth. I look back at my own past relationships, even how much I've evolved over the past 3 years, so that when the situation comes up now, I don't let it go on. I'm like, no, you know what? This is renting space in my head right now, and it's not paying me any rent. It's like renting a condo. I'm gonna evict it. I'm evicting it, right? I'm evicting this because I'm not gonna do that. I'm not doing that anymore. We don't do that anymore. That's trauma bonding. And that's my wound. That, remember, our wounds turn into scars. But if we keep scraping at them, they stay open, infected scabs. And mine's nicely scarred over, and I don't want to reinfect it. I want to be where I'm at. And that's the goal of helping people and clients to understand your journey, your wounds are your scar. It doesn't mean you have to keep traumatizing yourself.
Why so many keep repeating and repeating the same?
Fear.
Yeah, why? And they stay in relationships that are just like they should run away.
Loneliness, afraid to being alone is a huge one for people. That's another thing too. A period of, and I said this on a post I put this week, a period of loneliness, or not loneliness, a period of isolation and
Mhm. Yeah,
celibacy.
being alone.
So it is imperative, imperative actually. Yeah, I love sex. You think I like have going without sex for the past 2 years? But guess what? It was necessary. And I have no problem saying that. Even like with dating, be honest. I've been celibate. I'm not just going to exchange my energy with anyone anymore.
Sexual
It's,
energy is life force.
yeah, and it's creativity. I wrote 5 books from not having sex. I mean, I was quite productive. You know, I was on six, but that one's on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? But it's life force energy. And it also helps you when you take that time to really get secure. I can't say that enough. And I mean, there's so much more we're gonna go
So
into on
much more.
this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
What else you want to add?
it is beautiful, and I would really want who is listening to go through this journey, because we all kind of start from that anxious and avoidant attachment, like, and it shows up in the relationships over the years, but it is so amazing to witness doing the work and committing to yourself to the transformation. Like I and we see with ourselves and our clients. But what do
Hmm.
they do? They're committing to themselves and not to us. They
No,
really.
it's to themselves.
Exactly. So the thing is that all of this is just so much deeper because it goes into identity conditioning. So if you stop and you really want to dive in, you have to open the Pandora box. So what happens? Then you're gonna find yourself asking, okay, who am I? Who actually am I? Because I probably I like all those past years I was, and it happened to me like I do. Probably this is well, because I do it for a living and I'm super passionate about it on myself. But last week I realized such a breakthrough of an identity that I was carrying, and I was like, actually, that's not me. Wow.
No,
Oh
not
wow.
anymore.
Yeah.
It does come knocking on your door again, though, doesn't it? Our old identities come back and knock like, hey,
Always.
am I familiar to you? And you're
Because
like, yeah,
that
we're
was
not
it.
the
Because
same.
that's
I fired
familiar.
you.
That's
Right.
familiar. That's the known. One more time. The ego mind to keep you safe wants to keep you in the known, in the past, replicating and copying and paste. And so even though you're so you really want to escape to that reality, you're so addicted to even the chemicals of stress and anxiety that produces that you keep repeating the same patterns and going back because it takes courage to
It
walk
does.
with fear, because the fear is always here, and go to walk to the other side. It takes a lot of courage, but it's just
Don't don't you think too, because I know you've experienced this as well, um, that the universe though will consistently, even no matter what part of your journey you're at, it will come back and it will test you. How far have you gone? Are you really ready? Are
the
you really
more
ready?
the more
And
you know, the more
yes, the
you
more.
feel, the more difficult it becomes.
It does. It's new level of Jumanji. That's what
Yes,
it is. New level, new devil. And, I think too, well, as we bring this into next episode, next week too, I think we're going to talk about how the security is not just about relationships. We're going to really dive in how it affects us in other things too, friendships, career,
yes.
entrepreneurship is a huge, um, area spirituality that tests you with your childhood wounds, attachment, abandonment. Am I good enough? Imposter syndrome. And I think that's important on the other aspect of it because people think they're just coming to us for nervous system reset and understanding trauma and relationships. But the fact of the matter is this, and we're going to discuss it more next week, right? Is that you're taking this into every area of your life. So
Every
when you
area.
go through these programs, we're helping you to understand you at a core true soul level and transitioning that so it's not just about relationships. You're going to take these tools into other areas of your life.
It's totally a ripple effect, a domino effect. And also because when you, so first the relationship with yourself, so when you're not at peace with yourself, it goes like, of course, reflects into the relationship with, if you're married, with your husband and wife, or like, your partner, significant other, and friendship, and at work. So like it's literally all connected. Or maybe you're successful at, and I see with so many high achieving women, they're so successful, but then they don't know themselves, they're so disconnected, they go back home, the kids, oh my god, they hate them. Or with the husband, they can even talk, like it's just, it's all connected. So once you really go and work in an area of your life, it's just, like you clear, because we're in an energetic electromagnetic field, we clear the blocks, and everything starts like flowing, like just like,
Yeah.
yeah,
And too, it's like I don't want to get in, I don't want to say it this week because it's good stuff for next
yeah.
week about about the career parts and how we can be successful and how this is just a little tidbit for next week, but how a lot of people who are highly successful because they have a lot of trauma.
And let's leave it to that. Yeah.
So, when
So
you dive into your divinity, that's where the magic happens. These are both
absolutely.
me and Valentina's business. I am divinitylifecoaching.com. She is where the magic happens.
Yep.
And we are going to see you.
Next week, well, this drops on Friday, but then
Yeah.
next week we'll keep talking about this topic because it is much needed. So I'm curious
Yes.
to
And you know what? If anyone has any questions, you can DM either one of us on our socials or on when this drops Friday on Spotify or YouTube. Put questions in there because
absolutely.
eventually we're going to have guests on.
Yes.
But if there's people, I know people all struggle with this. There's not one human in the world
No.
who does not struggle with some form of attachment disorder.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank
So
you
it's
so
lovely to
much.
see you.
Yes.
I'll be back next week, back in Florida.
Amazing. Back to the nice weather. Bye.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Bye, Valentina.
Bye, Joelle.